These are Gerhard Richter's versions of the Annunciation after Titian. They are deliberately imperfect copies, and their power comes from aiming at something other than representation. When replication or representation fails, you make room for something else. Expression. These are old stuffed toys from Mike Kelley's piece, More Love Hours Than Can Ever Be Repaid. Originally, these toys seemed blank canvases onto which aunts or uncles or parents or grandparents could project their affections. But, having been lost or given up, the silence of these stitched faces is transformed by time into something else. They evoke pain or sadness beyond language, maybe the same kind of mute pain that drives a kid to want to distract themselves with play in the first place, the unhappiness that originally inspired imagination. Nietzsche said, "Metaphor is nothing other than the desire to be elsewhere." These photographs are from a series called I'm So Sad I Can't Tell You. The artist later tried to sail across the ocean on a small boat and was never seen again. His last words are on the postcard that captured the last image of him, waving goodbye. There's so much comfort seemingly available in so-called cozy games. Rather than transporting us to other worlds with higher stakes, thornier troubles, foreign languages and locales, unreal histories, cozy games instead seek to present a version of our own lives, imperfectly replicated, the same but not the same. We want to live in a neighborhood, have our neighbors be our friends, provide for ourselves and those closest to us. We want to feel appreciated. We want the way others see us to help us see ourselves as we've always wanted to be. Simple and clean. We want there to be no line dividing our consoling fantasies from the responsibilities of reality. We want responsibilities to be joys. We want the patent absurdity of our enterprise to screen us off from the disappointment of others. We want reality, but we don't want it to hurt quite so much or provoke anxiety in the way that it does. We want a mirror that's a portal. We want to be good and blank, and we want our goodness and blankness to improve the world and everyone in it. We want to make and unmake the world and others, the very things that we resent for the ways they seem to make and unmake us. Coziness as revenge. But coziness isn't merely making. In a cozy game, it's important that our fabricated objects feel like real people. But that too has always been the dream of artists, that what you make can come to life. You don't just represent, you replace through your expression. And the flip side of that is the nightmare of people, that you yourself are Pinocchio, a fabricated object, pulled by strings, and not actually alive, not really real. Pokopia is cozy for any number of reasons, but mostly because you as a person player get to assume the role of a Pokemon who then assumes the role of a person. People want to assume the role of a Pokemon for the sheer relief of having one's motivations simplified, clarified, pared down, crystallized. We want to leave for however long at a time the complications and conflicts of our own human motivations. We want to leave behind sadnesses so insurmountable we can't even put them into words. But then it turns out our Ditto longs for connection to people the same way the kind of person we've just described longs for connection to Pokemon, the idea of Pokemon. This Ditto wants to be close to the very category we're playing the game to escape. The coziness of this game is the prospect of leaving human complication so as to enter fictional simplicity, and then re-entering, through the character's inexpressible though actionable desire, the domain of human life and behavior, and seeing it as something that could be desirable. You come to see people the way people see Pokemon, or the way Pokemon see people, or the way Pokemon see Pokemon. This, though, is certainly not the way people see people. I want to be honest with you guys. The desire for an escape that becomes a re-entry seems so much a key part of the coziness of all games, not just cozy games. We play Mario Kart World and get to drive faster and funnier than we do in real life, escape. But just like real life, driving even across the whole world is mostly road and quiet and just driving. That's the re-entry. Which makes me think that maybe the point of that game is to make us think that maybe, contra the hit song Smooth by Santana, this life is good enough. I also think the game suggests that driving in reality is more fun than we'd appreciate it. That life is more fun than I'd appreciate it. All these different blinkered modes of expression. We want to return to certain experiences, but with the with the authenticating emptiness or sadness that time provides to all return. We come to a game and say, help me. We come to a game to literally start again. Cozy games offer consolingly altered replications of our actual lives, and the consoling part is the alteration. It lets us enjoy the possibility that the imperfections of our own lives are parallel with the imprecisions of this replicated experience of a game. And it provides us a chance to savor the thought of our lives being in fact as simplified, clarified, pared down, and comfortingly fictional or imagined as the game that we're playing. If I want to imitate this game, and this game wants to imitate me, who's to say who's really correct? The coziness of cozy games is the mimetic humility they affect.